Last week, Timothy and Cubby were trapped in the woodshed. I wonder what happened to them. Let's call Cubby and see if we can find out. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Cubby! Cubby? Are you there?
Here I am.
Oh, Cubby, I was so worried about you. Last week we heard that you were trapped in the woodshed.
We were. Timothy tried to open the big door, Miss Caitlin, but it was locked from the outside. We yelled and yelled for help, but Timothy's dad was mowing the lawn and nobody could hear us. Over the loud mowing, I was scared, but Timothy was brave.
Well, what happened next, Cubby?
All of a sudden, the lawnmower stopped, and then we heard Katie come. I was running after the lawnmower, barking as loudly as I could. Finally, Timothy's dad saw me and stopped the mower. I kept barking so that he would know something was wrong. He followed me to the shed. We heard them coming toward us, so Timothy and I yelled, "Help, help!" really loud, and Timothy's dad unlocked the door and let us out. We were free.
Phew, Cubby, I am so glad that you and Timothy are safe now.
Me too, and I'm glad I have special friends like Katie Colley. She helped us when we were in trouble. Oh, you know me. I always like to help. I'm glad I'm your friend, Cubby. And I'm glad that all of you are our friends too. Isn't that right, Cubby? That's right, Katie. I'm feeling a little sad tonight because this is almost our last week of club. I'm going to miss seeing all the boys and girls every week at Cubbies.
Some of us will be back after the summer and others will move to Sparks in the fall, but I'm sure they'll come back and visit.
Oh, good. So this is not really a goodbye. It's a see you later. See you later, Cubbies. It's a big bear hug from me. Bye.
Bye, Katie. Bye, Cubby.
Bye, boys and girls.
Cubbies, I'm so glad that Katie Colley was able to help rescue Timothy and Cubby from the woodshed. Today in our lesson, we're going to learn about a woman who was able to help boys and girls who were in trouble. God used her to tell many, many boys and girls the good news about Jesus. Her name was Amy Carmichael. Listen, and I will tell you a true story about Amy. Here's a picture of Amy when she was a little girl. Cubbies, God made Amy with pretty brown eyes, but there was a problem. Amy did not like her brown eyes. She wanted blue eyes. There's nothing wrong with having brown eyes, but as a little girl, Amy prayed and asked God to change her brown eyes to blue eyes. Remember, Cubbies, God hears our prayers, and God can do anything He chooses. But God never chose to make Amy's eyes blue. They stayed brown. And you know what? God used Amy's brown eyes in a very special way. Amy wanted to be a missionary when she grew up. Cubbies, do you know what a missionary is? A missionary is someone who has a special job of telling others the good news about Jesus. Some missionaries go to a place far away to do their special job. Some missionaries stay near their home to do their special job. Missionaries tell people the good news that Jesus died for their sins and came alive again. And one day when Amy was a grown-up, she traveled to a faraway country called India to tell people the good news about Jesus. The people of India looked different from Amy. They had dark skin and Amy had light skin. But do you know what? The people of India had brown eyes just like Amy. Amy loved all the people of India, but she especially loved the boys and girls there. Some of the boys and girls in India did not have anyone to love them or take care of them. Amy made a special home where these boys and girls could live. She took care of them, and she told them the good news about Jesus. Amy wanted them to feel safe with her, so she did something special. Amy made dark coffee, and when it was cool, she rubbed the coffee on her bare arms and face and hands. And when the coffee dried, her skin looked dark, and with her brown eyes, Amy looked very much like the people of India. This helped the boys and girls feel safe with Amy, and they called her Amma. Amy saved many boys and girls from danger. Sometimes she would have to travel a long way to save them and take them to her home where they could be safe. Cubbies, do you remember what Amy asked God for when she was a little girl? That's right, she asked for blue eyes. Now, God did not give Amy blue eyes, but Amy was able to use her brown eyes to help the children in India and to tell them the good news about Jesus. Amy's true story reminds me of our memory verse this week. In our Bible, in Mark chapter 16, verse 15, Jesus says, "Go into all the world and proclaim the gospel to the whole creation." Can you guys say that with me? Mark 16:15. Go into all the world and proclaim the gospel to the whole creation. Good job, Cubbies. God had a special plan for Amy, and with her brown eyes, she was able to tell many people the good news about Jesus. And Cubbies, God made you special too, and God has a plan for you just like He had for Amy. Jesus wants you to share the good news with others. Remember, Jesus says to tell the good news. And you know what the good news is? The good news is that Jesus died for our sins and came alive again. And all those who trust in Him are saved from the punishment for sin, and one day will go to heaven and be alive with Him forever. Cubbies, I want you to talk with your parents or with your leaders about who you could share the good news with this week. Good night.